of Bending Barbell's talk show.
We got
Check-
our nice,
Check out the artwork.
nice logo right here.
Yeah. All right, so episode 3, back at it again. So we chose Bending Barbells as our name because I thought it was kind of cool. I haven't really dig deep to it yet about what it's gonna mean and what it defines, but I think we're gonna stick with it and then definitely kind of try to bloom with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's dive into the topic.
Topics, yeah.
So we were talking about conventional and sumo and what's the differences between them and how it's viewed from the fitness community. So,
Yeah. So I do conventionals, and I've never tried sumo actually. Um, from what I understand, they're both good in their own ways, obviously, because they're both equally used in competitions. But for me, conventional just feels natural. And when I try to do sumo, it just doesn't feel natural. It feels like I'm not flexible enough. Maybe it's just I just need to keep doing it, but I just never went out of my way to actually just keep doing sumo. But yeah, conventional just feels like I'm using a lot more of my back. And I know deadlift is a whole body workout, but for some reason I don't know, in my head when I think deadlift, I'm like, oh, that's categorized in back workout. So I think when I do conventional stance, I think it makes me work my back more.
yeah. Last year I was doing conventional, but I recently changed to sumo because I felt like it was more natural for me to be able to lift that way. Because I was doing conventional all the time, and then I would see other people do sumo, and I'll be like, oh, that seems a little more natural for my body to like pull that way. So then I brought it to myself to just keep practicing sumo, and then at my last meet I was able to get comfortable enough with the form, and I was able to pull sumo.
That's
But
good.
I feel like for some people it feels really unnatural because it's almost like a completely new lift that you're doing.
Yeah, that's how it feels for me.
Yeah, and also with sumo, you also need a lot of flexibility too to have your hips go out that far. Because lately I've been having problems, and I've been telling you, I've been having problems with my hip flexors,
Right.
and they've just been feeling super stiff after pulling sumo. There's a lot of flexibility that you need to switch to sumo.
Yeah, I feel like sumo definitely uses more of a hip flexor.
Yeah.
So you gotta like get down. You're lower than if I was to do conventional. I'm not bending my knee as much as the sumo deadlifters are.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, there's so many parts that are so different from sumo and conventional. I mean, sumo, you guys have to like angle your feet certain way.
Your
and,
legs are just out like that.
Yeah, and it's like, and your width, it's just different. Like it varies from each lifter and depending on their height and their flexibility. It's just
Yeah, a lot of it's
too much.
based on your arm length and your torso length.
Yeah.
And then the comparison between what's longer and what's shorter.
Right.
And then it can see which one is like more suitable for which lift.
Yeah, I mean conventional for me, like I said, it's natural. I'll keep doing it. I mean, I've heard, from experienced lifters and even professional lifters on articles and talk shows that it's better to go back and forth with both of them because it also sumo helps with the flexibility and it's a lot of leg power driven,
Yeah.
So I think that also definitely helps with your couple other lifts like your squat too probably, it gives you that little drive probably when you're squatting. Whereas conventional, I think that helps you strengthen your back a little bit more.
Yeah, it works. I feel like it works more with the upper, lower, and like
Yeah.
your upper and lower back, and also for hyperextending your back too.
Right.
When
I
you
mean,
lift.
yeah. I mean, not that the sumo doesn't work it back, but if you look at a sumo stance, they're already pretty straight. You know,
Yeah.
they're not bent as much as a conventional deadlifter is. They're already pretty straight, and they're bending their knees to the ground. Though I mean, you know, it's like their butt is like almost to the ground. Oh shit. Whoops. Um, so yeah, I mean, for me, I like I said, I think the flexibility is my issue. That's why I don't do sumo. But I mean, maybe I'll give it a try. I think I should start giving it a try.
Yeah.
That way it'll help me maybe increase my numbers.
Yeah, I do see that it helps increasing numbers in a little bit of sense, and that's why some people say that sumo's cheating. But what are your
Well,
thoughts on?
I wouldn't call it cheating. It's freaking hard. If you, I mean, you know, that's one thing. If you can do conventional and then switch over to sumo and just like bang out 50 pound more, you know, without trying it at first. But sumo is pretty hard. It's all about form and, you know, technique. If you don't, you know, you can't just watch someone and then like do it right away as heavy as they can.
Mhm.
That's actually something you have to like pretty much start from all the way in start from the scratch, you know, and then kind of build that flexibility and strength from a different muscle fiber. And I think I don't think it's cheating. I think it's freaking hard.
Yeah, I kind of compare it to I've heard that high bar is a lot different from low bar squats.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I've heard that like low bar squats, it's a little bit easier because of the way the bar is on your body, and like the amount of leverage you can get from lifting. So
Right.
low bar is a little easier than high barring.
But again, it's all about the form and technique.
Yeah,
If you don't have it,
it's pretty much like a completely new
Yeah.
lift that or workout you're doing.
right. Yeah. I mean, you know, maybe it's just because they're used to it and they just make it seem so easy. That's why people are saying that. But I mean, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, if you're not using a machine, if you're not using like any kind of forms of substance to help you to lift that weight, whatever, if you're holding that weight by yourself in any way, I think that's, you know, I wouldn't say that's cheating.
Yeah.
You know, it's all form and technique. I mean, if you're squatting 600 on a low bar, that's all skill. I mean, you know, that's
still 600 pounds.
yeah,
on the
exactly.
bar
I mean,
that they're
yeah.
lifting.
So that's pretty good, and it works for them. You know, if it works for you, that's good. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't work. Low bar, it would like slide right off.
Yeah, I think with the different variations of the lift, there's always their ups and downs to their lifts.
hmm
But I think if the person can like adapt to it and
Right.
go with those changes and differences.
Yeah, being able to adapt, I think that's very important to a certain form or technique.
Yeah, especially if you're having trouble with like even squatting or anything, then you can just change up your workout. You need to be able to adapt to your workout
Yeah.
to accompany if you're injured or anything.
So now, would you say it's easier for a newly beginning person who's doing powerlifting, has no form, has not decided what technique they want to use, low bar, high bar, sumo, conventional? Do you think it's easier for them, or do you think it's easier for someone that's has already stuck with one form or technique and they're trying out the other one?
It's a good question. I think someone who's completely new to lifting will have a hard time just getting used to the form, when someone who already did, like, let's say conventional already, and then they're just switching to sumo, then they kind of have a general idea in their mind of what it should feel like, what you should do. So I feel like a more experienced lifter, even outside of that workout, will be better, or can learn that workout quicker.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there are always those people though when they're first starting and they choose that sumo route, and then me, you know, if me versus that new guy, he might have, you know, there's always a chance of he might come in with a non-biased thought about forms and
Yeah.
just only pick up the good things, whereas me, I already have a biased thought about conventional versus sumo, and then I might do things kind of mixed with sumo and conventional.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
in being said in mind, just it might mess me up even more than actually the new guy that's just starting out, taking in everything about sumo deadlift form and actually using it to the best and having a best outcome. I mean, there's always that. I feel like there's always that possibility.
Yeah, there's always some possibility of that.
Yeah, because I mean, they're pretty different. I was watching this video, and they definitely use different muscle fibers. They definitely have different techniques of coming up. You know, it's really different. I feel like.
Yeah, I've heard that for sumo, when you're like maxing out or anything, you don't want to push your hips out too far, because then that'll just like.
Really.
I don't know exactly why, but I've heard that it's just kind of bad for like your muscles and maybe your bone placement, because your hips are already out,
right,
and spread out so much already, and then pushing them out might just misalign it or tweak something.
I mean, I can see that happening too. I mean, when they, one thing that scares me is when the sumo deadlifters, they come up and then they lock their knees.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, ooh, like
sometimes it looks
this is
pretty
like,
rough.
yeah, it makes me cringe. I'm like, that doesn't feel comfortable for me.
Yeah.
I hate locking. It just scares me, the thought of locking knees. I mean,
Yeah.
in when we, for me, like, conventional, when I lock knees, I don't completely lock like some lifters do sumo. Their knees are like, or their leg is like this.
It looks like their knees are just buckling.
Completely hyperextended.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that doesn't look normal at all. But they're comfortable, and I'm like, maybe it's just because I'm not flexible like that,
or you're just kind of not used to.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff like that.
I mean, I lock knees, but I lock knees to the point where I, it's appropriate, not like hyperextending it. It's just the same thing as when people are doing deadlift. They come up and then they hyperextend their hip, and then they go all the way back.
And their back just bends
Yeah,
backwards.
it's like, I actually saw this I saw this image of how squat and deadlifts are supposed to be. So it's like, if you imagine a person standing up, right, and then you put a bucket of water on their hip, just like upwards.
Yeah.
Fill it up with water, and when they are doing a squat, it shouldn't like tilt, if that makes sense.
Oh, so their hips supposed to be like going
Like
up and
aligned.
down.
Like, it's always, it shouldn't like hyperextend or like be too flexed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I mean, I kind of imagine that sometimes. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't like put too much kick into the hip, or like, bring it too much out. So I saw that picture and I thought, that's a really good idea. I mean, that's a good way of thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I also want to talk about grips.
Oh,
like
mixed grip,
overhand, and there's a, what's it called?
Mixed grip, and there's a grip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a word for it, like straddler.
I just call it mixed grip.
Yeah. Well, I used to call it a strongman grip the whole time, but I don't know if that's even the correct term.
I don't think so. I think strongmen just do like a overhand.
Oh, is it overhand?
Or if hook grip, if they can.
I guess that's the weak. I guess that's the weak man.
It's a good basic grip.
Yeah, I'm definitely more used to the mixed grip, because I'm comfortable with that, and some people. I've also heard that can actually, whichever arm that's facing forward, which is usually the weak arm. The strong arm is gonna be like regular.
Yeah.
Right, and then the weak arm is the one that's going opposite. So if I'm righty, my right's going regular, and then the other one is turned.
Yeah.
That arm has high chances of you injuring your forearm. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you're pulling so much that it could hurt that tendon right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I mean, that's, Yeah, that's like one bad thing about that form. Other than that, it's a really good, if you have a good balance on, you know, understanding your body and understanding your limits, and actually, making sure you have a good form and everything. It's a really good grip. I see it used all the time, everywhere. I saw it a
Yeah.
lot in competition. See it a lot in videos.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good good grip for people who are just starting to like almost professionals. And I feel like more of the professional lifters and people who want to be more professional will do hook grip.
Yeah,
So
hook grip is hard.
hook grip is mostly used for like Olympic lifters because
Right.
they're snatching and they're clean and jerking, but also some professional people who are deadlifting like 900 pounds plus,
Yeah,
they're going to have that extra support with the
Damn.
locking of the thumb and the
that's crazy.
fingers.
Their thumb must be dead.
Yeah, it feels like your thumb's about to like rip open. I've recently tried to switch over to hook grip, and whenever I deadlift, it just feels like my thumb's just gonna be pulled out of the socket. It just sometimes just hurts that much.
That's crazy. Can you explain what a hook grip is?
So basically, you have both hands over the bar, and then you'll have your thumb wrap around the bar, and then you'll use your fingers to fold over the thumb. And then so when you pull up the weight, then the weight is all going or mostly going onto your thumb, but then that's being closed by your fingers.
Shit.
So then it'll
like it could kind of lock it up, right?
yeah, it'll lock it up.
So it's like a bar thumb burrito.
Yeah. If you have a good strong grip and you can absolutely not feel any pain, then you can hold like an insane amount of weight.
Yeah, that's not for me. I think I tried it once. Even with like 2 plate, it hurts.
Yeah. I've been trying to
It's
do,
not comfortable.
I've been trying to do like rack holds with like a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
weight on and just holding as long as I can.
No, I
And
can't. Yeah. Well,
It's still kind of rough. I'm still trying to switch over to it.
yeah. I mean, I'm still training on doing my or just a regular overhand grip
Mhm.
because I think that's a really good. I think if you can get like pretty heavy weights just with overhand, I feel like that indicates you have a good grip.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
obviously, that'd be freaking cool if you could one wrap with regular grip without even locking. I mean, without doing the hook or anything.
Mhm.
I mean but that's pretty hard.
Yeah, and I don't think I have a good strong enough grip to like do double overhand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I've seen anybody just do overhand
Yeah,
for like 1 reps
Yeah,
in competitions.
definitely.
I've definitely seen hook grips, the one you're talking about.
Yeah, hook
And
grip
just
and
the mixed
grip
grips,
is
yeah.
like the most common for like competition.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think we gotta wrap this up
Yeah.
for episode 3. 3, right?
Yeah,
Episode 3.
episode 3.
Episode 3. Thanks a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and the question or the topics about which one is not really better, but sumo stands versus conventional stands for deadlifting, how it differs and which one we prefer and why. Also the hook, the grips, different types of grips, and what else did we talk about?
That's pretty much it, I think. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Cool.
tune in next time. Subscribe, like, comment, share to your friends.